If you're like me and you've already collected all of the released fighters, I think it's time for you to check out some custom fighters.
Today we have Gingerbread Man from Fairy Tale. It is the Christmas season, so this is the perfect fighter for a time like this with snow on the ground. We got the Gingerbread Man. This deck is one that I've been kind of holding on to for a while. I absolutely love this. This is one of the first decks that ever got me into custom Unmatched. I'm very excited to show this one off, but I had to save it for the perfect time of year, the Christmas season. So yeah, we can go right back into looking at this miniature here. You can see this one is definitely modeled after the one from Shrek, even with the legs broken off and reattached with icing there. I did want to quickly show off the miniature that the creator here, TAYTERTOTS, had made. If you don't follow him, he's a Unmatched fan on Instagram there. His has the Gingerbread Man there with a sharpened up candy cane ready to battle. Definitely like his a little bit better, but this is the one that all of us can easily not download, but buy and have it show up at our door with no printing knowledge needed for that one. And then on the Sidekick here, we have the Fox. And this one is not included with the deck. I just took some of the art from the deck and rearranged it so it fit great with this token here. But one thing that is cool is that the Meeplesmith who made that gingerbread miniature there also made a Fox miniature. So if you prefer to have two miniatures, you know, with the Sidekick and all, you can also have this one there. They sell them in a 2-pack like this, or you can buy them individually. But you can also just get the token like I have here. The art will be in the description for you to download if you'd like. And then next we can look into the health dials here. We got one for each fighter here, and I'm very proud of how these turned out. Once again, there wasn't any art ready for this deck for these guys, but I just kind of took the card back there and took that lines there. So we have the Gingerbread Man in the middle with the gray border and then the pink outline. And the Fox is the opposite with the pink name tag there and the gray outline. Love how these ones turned out. Probably some of my favorite health dials so far for the custom decks, but that is all thanks to the amazing artwork that is made by this deck. It is all hand drawn, or I guess digitally drawn, by the creator here, TAYTERTOTS. So very, very cool. We can also go right into the hero card here. So this is the Gingerbread Man. He is a melee fighter with 13 health, and then the Fox here is his sidekick, with melee fighter with 9 health. And the first thing that might have already stood out to you is that this guy has a 4 move. I love having all the different varieties in Unmatched. Here we have our 1 move fighters, our 2 move fighters, 3 move fighters, and finally we have a 4 move fighter. This guy is slippery, and you will see here with his ability here, the fresh out of the oven, Gingerbread Man may maneuver through spaces containing opposing fighters. So not only can he move 4, but he can go through you. So this guy is very, very hard to catch. But you'll see there's a good balance here, because next here it says at the start of your turn, if Fox is adjacent to Gingerbread Man takes 1 damage, aka the Fox takes a bite out of the Gingerbread Man. And you'll see in the deck coming up real fast that there's a lot of effects that have these two being adjacent. So it's kind of a push and pull of wanting to have them adjacent for these effects, but not wanting them to get stuck together and have, you know, them dealing damage to themselves. It's a very cool concept here, because usually you can use your sidekicks as kind of a wall or a barrier in between you and other fighters. But in this case, you kind of want to have them split up, but not too split up, because you want those effects. So we can go into the deck here. I can quickly show off the card back here. I love this tan, orange, brown, and pink color scheme he's got, even with the gray mixed in there. It is a gorgeous deck. I think it's very, very whimsical. Love the colors that he picked out for this deck. So yeah, let's get straight into it, starting with our attack cards for Gingerbread Man here. This is a 3 attack for Gingerbread Man with 2 boost, 3 copies, and this is Cookie Cutter. During combat, cut your opponent's card value in half, rounded down. And one thing I want to point out again is that he hand drew all this art. I guess I believe it was digital, not on paper, but he did do it by hand. So I do want to point out that all of the art is custom made for this deck. Very, very exciting. But yeah, that's our first one there. Definitely nice. Even though he's small, he's cutting that that damage down for whatever you take. Or sorry, he's cutting down the value of your opponent's card. I didn't correct myself there. But next here we have another attack of 4 for Gingerbread Man with 3 boost, 2 copies, and this is 350 degrees. After combat, if you won the combat, deal 1 damage to the opposing fighter for each card in their hand. Very, very scary, because it's one of those cards I love that you're waiting for the perfect opportunity. Your opponent thinks that they're doing well. They have, let's say, 7 cards in hand, and they could be taking 7 damage. So definitely very, very scary. And then next up here is our first defense card here for the Gingerbread Man, a defensive 5 with 2 boost, 2 copies, and this is Gingerbread House. After combat, if you won the combat, you may draw 1 card. So very nice. Obviously just negating the damage, but also getting you some card draw there. And then next here we have Ginger Snap, a 3 versatile for the Gingerbread Man with 2 boost, 3 copies. And this is after combat. If Gingerbread Man is not adjacent to the Fox, draw 1 card and the Gingerbread Man recovers 1 health. So this is one of those situations where it's actually you're getting a double benefit of not getting that 1 damage, but also recovering a health and drawing a card. This is probably one of my favorites from the deck here, with him having the Infinity Gauntlet there ready to snap it there. Then next here we have Can't Catch Me. This is a 2 versatile for Gingerbread Man with 2 boost 3 copies, and this is immediately cancel all effects on your opponent's card. After combat, move Gingerbread Man up to 2 spaces. So a feint with an extra little bit of a movement. Once again, this guy is slippery. It's going to be really hard to catch the Gingerbread Man. And then lastly here for the Gingerbread Man cards, we have these Schemes, and this is a 3 boost 2 copies, and this is The Way the Cookie Crumbles. Discard 1 card from the top of your deck. All opposing heroes in your zone take damage equal to the boost value of that card. Gingerbread Man recovers health equal to that boost value. So can definitely be very scary there, because we have a lot of these higher boost values. Not only they're taking the damage, but you're recovering the damage. And once again, it might seem like this guy's on the way stronger side, but here's the thing, is his own sidekick is dealing damage to him. And there's a lot of times where they're going to be stuck together, or your opponent can push your fighters together and just keep on kind of getting that auto damage every turn. So although he seems quite strong on the surface, I love the balance of this fighter. Definitely want to try out. And then next here is a Scheme card for Gingerbread Man, a 4 boost, so very strong with our other card there, but only 1 copy. And this is Changing the Recipe. Choose 2 cards from your discard pile and place them back in your deck. Shuffle your deck. You may not choose Scheme cards, so you cannot get this crazy Way the Cookie Crumble card back. But you only have 1 of those, so once per game you can do that. Then moving on, we have our Fox cards here, and this is a 2 attack for Fox with 3 boost 2 copies, and this is Snatch and Devour. During combat, blind boost this card. If you are adjacent to the Gingerbread Man, double the boost value. So once again, I mean, a great effect, but even greater if they're adjacent to each other. But if this is your last action, let's say you maneuver closer to them and then attack them with this, you're getting an auto damage on your next turn. So definitely can be very scary. Next here is a versatile for the Fox, and this is Sweet Tooth with 1 boost 2 copies. And this is after combat. If Fox started this turn adjacent to Gingerbread Man, deal 2 damage to the opposing fighter. So if you get that auto damage in, you're going to be getting extra damage to the opponent. Then next here, another Fox versatile card with 2 boost 2 copies. This is Sly and Shifty. After combat, place Fox adjacent to Gingerbread Man. So you get a nice 3 versatile here, but you're going to be getting those guys adjacent. So especially if this is on your opponent's turn, you're going to be getting that 1 damage. I always need to remind you, it's not great for these guys to be close to each other. Very different from any other deck. And then next here we have our Any cards. It's a 3 attack for Any with 2 boost 2 copies, and this is Swift Strike. After combat, move your fighters up to 4 spaces. So, once again, keeping them on the move. Next here is a 3 attack for Any with 2 boost 3 copies, and this is Working Together. After combat, if Gingerbread Man and the Fox are adjacent, gain 1 action. So once again, getting that bonus for keeping them adjacent, but you want to make sure that they're not adjacent by the end of your turn or during your opponent's turn, which this card will definitely help with that. This is a 4 for Any with, it's a 4 versatile for Any with 2 boost 3 copies, and this is Leap Away. After combat, if you won the combat, choose one of the fighters in the combat and move them up to 4 spaces. So definitely one of those options where you want to move your own fighter away from your other fighter there. But yeah, that is the Gingerbread Man. Let's go into my final thoughts. So this deck is definitely very special to me. This is one of the first custom decks that I ever saw and I wanted to make. But I did hold off because I wanted to do it justice, wait until I was able to get these health dials all looking good. And I also forgot to mention that the 0 on this is a couple of crumbs. They're a little bit hard to see on camera, but it's a couple of brown crumbs there. That's all that's left of the poor Gingerbread Man. So now that I was able to have everything look perfect, I was able to get this deck printed out, and then we saved it for December, the Christmas season. I felt like it was just perfect to release this deck during that time. But overall, I already kind of talked about it throughout the deck. The art on this deck is absolutely amazing. The mechanics are very fun. It's also great to have a very zippy, very fast fighter that just, slips through all of your opponents and is hard to catch, but has the, downside of your own teammate dealing damage to yourself. And once again, it seems like he's pretty strong, but a lot of times you just keep getting caught with that Fox and your own teammate just keeps on taking a bite. The last time we played as him, that is how the Gingerbread Man died. The opponent was able to move the Fox in on, right next to the Gingerbread Man. His turn started. The Fox gobbled him up. He was gone. So definitely a fun deck. If you want to learn how to make this deck for yourself, we can learn how to do that. So starting off with the miniatures, if you want to get the Gingerbread Man here, as well as even the Fox Sidekick miniature, both of those I got from the Meeple Smith, so you can go on their website and get those for yourself. Then next is the Sidekick token here. If you want this exact one that I have, this is from Board Games Maker. I will leave a link to this exact token that I got, as well as the art, so all you can do is drag and drop, and they will print it out for you. And then speaking of Board Games Maker, if you want the health dials here, these are just the 2-inch cardboard punch outs, and the only thing that you need to do is punch a hole in the middle, cut out this little window, and then these little plastic rivets are just the extra ones that Unmatched has. But there's a few board game websites that have these little rivets. I will leave a link in the description if I can find some for you. And then the art for the dials themselves, the front and the back, will all be in the description. Once again, just a drag and drop process. All you gotta do is be able to cut out the little window and the hole, but the art you'll see in the description shows very clearly where to cut in those spots, so it comes out perfectly just like these two did. And lastly, if you want to get the deck printed for yourself, this is also going to be from BoardGamesMaker.com. Just an easy drag and drop process down there. I'll leave a link to the exact card stock and everything that you'll need for it. And then to get the actual art for this deck, it's going to be from Unmatched.cards, and our creator here is TAYTERTOTS. And then I will point out that everything here is going to be on that except for the hero card here. I did change that so it has this nice tan border and the pink stripes on the background. I will leave a link for those artworks in the description as well. But yeah, I got to go. My toast is burning.